I did a photo shoot in Venice. So it was for like a lingerie brand.
Very sexy. And then we had these men opposite. Do you remember? These like dirty old men opposite. Always like sticking out their tongue and like filming and being really creepy. So do you know what I did? Jessie walked to the side and then I pulled down my trousers and showed them my bum. And then they left.
Pet peeves of you on holiday?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so when we're on holiday and it always gets to the last day, something in you goes like, you go weird, man.
What do you do?
He starts talking in this weird voice, puts on a hat and goes, I'm Billy. Like, you just lose the plot on the last day of the holiday.
You always have to think about sex.
If we broke up and still lived together, there would not be a possibility of us ever sleeping with each other.
Depends what sort of chat line you're using. Hey guys, and welcome back to the podcast hosted by two lovebirds agree to disagree. Myself, Will Young, and my beautiful girlfriend,
Jessie, Wynter. So today we have spicy dating advice, we have strong opinions, lots of agree to disagree moments, and some fun stories to tell you. So
let's kick it off. Is flirting cheating?
Is flirting cheating? Okay, this is a huge discussion because what's going on Big Brother, I'm a celebrity Big Brother at the moment, Jojo and Chris Hughes. This is what it makes me think of.
Yeah.
Oh, I feel like this is such a tricky one. Like, what even is the...
I think flirting is cheating.
You're just straight to the point.
I do think flirting is cheating because why are you entertaining it?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I feel like if we were in if you were out somewhere and you were flirting with someone to get a drink or to get whatever... Why are you entertaining it?
Yeah, like why is your mind thinking that way?
Yeah.
I do get that. What do you think about the Big Brother?
With Chris and Jojo. I think it's just a weird situation. I don't really understand what's going on. I don't think any of the viewers or anyone watching it would have called this or seen this happening.
No, because you said the other day about Ella and Chris being the love story
I thought that's
of Big Brother.
I thought that's what was going to be pushed.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Well, I feel like Big Brother always has like one love story. In Big Brother Australia years and years ago, there was a girl called Tully and a guy called Drew, and Tully had a girlfriend outside of the show.
Yeah.
And then while they were on the show, Tully and Drew actually started got together.
It's happened heaps actually in Big Brother. I've seen it on my For You page, like old videos of like people hooking up who had partners, obviously on the outside. Not saying that that's what Jojo and Chris are doing, but what we're seeing, stuff looks like it's going on.
But then I'm like, are the producers just like construing it this way?
No,
but then I'm like, she's crawling over to his bed.
No, because Big Brother are doing 24 live streams.
Are they?
Yeah, you can log on and watch it in 24 hours. That's where a lot of these clips are coming from, like when they're in bed. It's from the 24-hour live stream. It's not necessarily what's being aired.
I do feel bad for Jojo's partner.
Yeah.
I think watching this unfold on TV would be incredibly distressful.
I wouldn't like to watch it on TV.
No, because you can't have a conversation with your partner to like discuss and see where they're at. Because
there was an awkward moment between Joe and Chris though, because Chris referred to Jojo as his girlfriend. She was like, I'm not your girlfriend.
Yeah, because it might be like platonic.
Like boundaries, isn't it? There's like boundaries. But what the situation that's going on is, I don't know,
but I do actually like seeing their connection together. I think it is really sweet, other than the fact that Jojo has a partner.
Yeah. Is it cheating?
Is it cheating? I would say not at this rate.
No.
But
if I was doing that with someone else...
Yes.
How would you react to that?
So I was spiraling in my head about this the other night. I was laying in bed. I was like, what would I do if Will was in the Big Brother house and it was the same situation? If the person he was flirting with as such doesn't typically date your gender.
Right.
I would still be like...
What the hell are you doing?
Yeah.
You're making me look like a fool.
Even worse. Then my brain was like spiraling onto like, oh my God, imagine if Will went on Big Brother and then you started like having a friendship and connection like that with another girl. I was like, oh my God. Like that was like stressing me out because you'd sit there and watch it and be like, oh no, I need to discuss with them. But then it's like you can literally see it all for your own eyes.
Yeah.
So it's like I'd be like, no matter what you tell me, I've actually seen it all on video. So I know my truth.
Yeah.
But then I feel like if any of us ever did Big Brother
and that happened,
that would be like the nightmare. And then I was actually getting even worse in my head. And then I was like, imagine if you actually did go on Big Brother and then you did form a proper connection with someone and actually broke up with me.
Yeah. But you know,
That's my worst nightmare.
Big Brother do chuck in their people's partners. Like when they see stuff that's happening and everything that's going on online, they'll just put in their partner onto Big Brother, like the show, and like it all kicks off. So maybe that's what they'll do. But maybe it won't. Maybe everyone's just overthinking it and Judge's partners just chill at home and...
Literally. Either way, I do really love Jojo. I think that she's actually really, really sweet. But is flirting cheating? I would say
yes, because I wouldn't like it to happen to me. Not necessarily saying about that situation, but for me, I would... I wouldn't say... I would just say it's disrespectful.
Yeah.
And it's not cheating, but it's disrespectful, and I wouldn't.
I think sometimes with people, they'll be like, oh, but I didn't cheat. And like they completely waive the point of the whole situation. So if like a girlfriend come to a boyfriend, he says, no, but we didn't do anything, we didn't cheat. And that's like the get out of jail free card. No, nothing sexual happened. So it's not cheating.
Yeah.
For me, it's like you're completely dismissing the fact that it has disrespected your partner's boundaries.
Yeah.
And I feel like within that, if it's not cheating yet and that behavior continues to happen,
God
it is
knows what it could lead to.
Literally, God knows.
You should be allowed to stalk your ex-partners.
On socials?
Yeah.
You can do what you want.
Agree or disagree?
I feel like, you can stalk your ex-partners if you like, but I don't think it's really healthy for someone to do that.
Agreed.
Yeah. How would you feel if I did that?
Yeah, I would be like, what the hell's going on?
Yeah, if you're like consistent. Yeah, if I saw you stalking your ex-partner, I'd be like, what the hell? What the hell?
What the hell?
But I do think like there's no like golden rule that you can't. It depends as well, like, if I don't know, if you heard some gossip or something, if you need to go check that it's true.
Yeah, it depends to what excessive amount you're doing.
Yeah, because I do know people that like constantly, I swear to God, constantly are always like, stalking their exes.
Is it a quick stalk or is it like something you're obsessing over?
Yeah, you're like actually going to the type bar to search in their name to go and like see, and you're doing it frequently. Or even worse, if you have a Finsta and you're stalking your ex.
A what?
I get it. A Finsta.
What's that?
A fake Insta. I get it. A lot of people do this to stalk their ex.
I don't have a fake Insta.
No. I used to have a Finsta, but it was like only my close friends and family. And like I would just like
Was that used for stalking?
No, because it was my name and my face anyways. But it was just like a private Instagram. But I know heaps of people that do have fake Instagram accounts that do stalk their exes because like their exes block them or they block their ex, but they still want to keep up to date. But
imagine taking it so far that you have a fake Instagram, but then you use it to message your partner to see if they would reply.
Oh, that is a bit crazy. That's like stalking.
Yeah.
If you have any stories that align with this, please send them in because I'm very interested to hear. And I want to know why and what led you to the point of getting to have to do that. Or if you're on the receiving end for it, your ex-partner's been a little bit weird like that and they're messaging you. Because there's always a story and there's always something that leads people to do a certain thing. But I know plenty of girls who have actually blocked their ex and then they still look at their profile on their fake thing just to kind of see what's going on. But the difference is, like, obviously, if you're in a new relationship and you're still doing that, I don't think that's healthy.
Probably not healthy, not the healthiest thing that you've ever done.
Yeah, but if you've like just recently broken up or whatever, I do understand like wanting to kind of see what they're doing. However, I do think just like the block, get them out. I think that's a really effective way to get over them.
Couples should always share their location?
I don't think they should have to. Like if you said to me, I need your location.
No, but when me and Jessie first got together, she shared her location with me, but I never shared my location with you. Just not because it's just not a thing. I feel like you in Australia with you and your family and like your friends, everyone like on Snapchat, everyone shares their location sort of thing. However, I've never done that. So you were like, when are you going to turn or share your location to me?
Yeah, so I think if I was like, you have to share your locations with me, that's different. But then for me, I do just share my location with my friends and family. Have my location.
Not your mum. Because I share my location with your mum because your mum wants to see, you know, if we're in Australia or wherever we are, what we're doing, if we're safe. And you wouldn't. So I said, you can have mine because we're always together.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I took my mum off for some reason. Don't know why, but I did. But I share my location with all my friends and family because if I go missing, I get stressed that I'm going to go missing. Girls in a different country, God knows where I could end up. Always check my snap maps. Friends and family, check my snap maps. And my close friends and family actually have my Apple locations too.
I don't have your Apple location.
I think I might have put it on for you.
Really?
Yeah. I put it on. So if I ever go missing, you can find me, because I'm scared that I'm going to go missing. I'm like, you don't have to give me your location, although it would like make me feel a little bit more settled.
Yeah.
But like, I'm genuinely scared about myself going
But
missing.
if you want someone's location, how do you ask it in a healthy way? Like, it is, if you like want to share locations with your partner, how can you easily be like, I want to know where you are? Because it does sound a little bit creepy.
Yeah, I think it depends why you want their location, because if they don't want to give you their location and then you're pushing it, I think that is overstepping their privacy. Because we're a little bit different. Like I said, everyone can have my location.
Yeah.
I like to be known where I am. I'm scared I'm going to get lost. However,
lost or taken.
and like even you, like if you have your locations on, if we're in Venice or something and I can't find you, look on Snap Maps, babe.
Yeah.
Easy. But I think with other relationships, like it can get into like the controlling zone if people are actually tracking where they go. I know I had a friend who had a very toxic relationship and there was like cheating stuff and it wasn't a healthy relationship. So they broke up and then got back together. And the way to resolve the cheating issues was, if we're going to get back together, you have to give me your location.
To resolve the cheating issues. I think that should have just been drawn in the line and gone, nip that in the bud.
Yeah, so that guy's asked for her to take him back. And then she said, yeah, only if I can have your location. So like with that,
and did they share the location?
They did.
And did he cheat?
I think so. Yeah, it was really, really messy. Cheated again. It was cheating for months. But it was really funny actually. Once me and my friend went to the beach and because she had his location and he had hers. I can't tell you.
Why? Do I know them?
No. Once me and my friend went to the beach, because he had her location and she had his, we were like at the beach.
I know who it is.
And he came along on a jet ski and like drove past us on the rocks on a jet ski because he could see our location. So he literally has come to the beach via jet ski to do a drive-by and check what we were doing and who she was with.
Okay, that's a bit weird.
That was it was really weird, but we did laugh about it because we were like, is that your man on a jet ski? It was really funny because he was like standing on the jet ski and like patrolling. It was really funny. But yeah, I think it's all up to the individuals. If you don't want to give your location, I don't think you have to. Like, no, you don't have to.
You don't. There's
you got free will, doll.
Yeah, there's boundaries. Maybe you don't want to know. You might not be doing anything wrong, but it's maybe like a bit of an invasive for privacy.
And it depends what like approach people have. Because if you tell me to give you my location, I will immediately go into defense mode and be like, no, because I'm an adult. I don't want to be told what to do.
Yeah, it does give off like you're a child vibes, doesn't it? Yeah,
but then if you like kind of discuss it and share it and explain, we can make a compromise.
Which kind of worked out really nicely because me and Jessie actually have just come back from Venice. We came back from Venice last night at like 3 a.m. So we're a tiny little bit tired. But that kind of like worked out. We didn't lose each other in Venice, so we didn't need to use our locations. But we did have a lovely, lovely trip. But it did start off with a little bit of a rocky road. We've done something that we had never done before going to the airport. We fucking forgot our passports.
Oh my God, how did we forget our passports?
And I actually did remind Jessie 10 minutes before leaving the house, we need our passports to make sure we've got them. But I don't know why. I don't think that we were particularly in a big rush or anything like that, but we just forgot them. And then we got in the car and drove off and we got like half an hour away and Jessie was like, our passports, which was good because if she didn't, then we wouldn't have been able to leave.
Literally, it's like a 2.5 hour drive to the airport. Key thing there, you said to me, don't forget our passports. Why didn't you just get them yourself?
Because you don't trust me with passports.
True, but you could have just went and got them.
No, I just reminded you because you're normally really good at that. I'm not trusted with passports because I'll lose them.
Yeah, Will actually did leave his passport on a plane once.
Yeah, I did.
And we were going to America the next day.
Yeah, that was not ideal.
That was not okay. Oh my God, I would never forget that because I literally said to Will, no, I didn't say to Will because I always remind Will. And then I was going to say to him, just check the seat for your passport. But in my head, I literally had the conversation. I said, no, he's a big boy. He probably gets annoyed at me, like reminding me of things all the time.
You did remind me, didn't you?
No, I didn't this time.
No, you said make sure you got everything. Check it.
No, I didn't tell you to check it twice.
No, you didn't tell me to check it. So Jessie was like, make sure you've got everything and bring it. And I said, yeah, I've got everything. Obviously, I didn't.
And usually I say to him, oh, look, like physically look.
No, but you didn't check up on me.
Because I got off after you, Will. I got out of my seat and was standing in the aisle. And then you didn't check your seat.
But I didn't check it properly and I left my passport on the plane.
Yeah.
So I'm not trusted with passports. Therefore, that's your decision.
I think like with this, we were actually organised. So it was really like
Were
calm.
we?
Yeah, we were. We didn't have to bring that much. Like it was chill vibes.
No,
it was so
only,
chill to the point where I didn't even get the passport.
It was so chill because we were leaving later. We normally have early flight mornings.
Oh, that is a
so
nightmare.
it's like a big rush, and we don't pack until like an hour before. So doing that at 4 a.m. is really, really bad. But if you can have like the morning to like rejuvenate yourself, whatever, it seems a little bit more chill. But that's not the only time. We almost missed our flight when we got there as well. And I'm blaming the systems of how you look to catch flights. So with the big board, it said Venice, and then it had this like massive gap. And then it said boarding, but when I looked at Venice and then the flight number and was like, oh, nothing's like directly next to it, so we don't have to board. So me and Jessie got food and I said, look, I've checked, we're not boarding yet, we've got ages. And then Jessie started eating and then suspiciously thought, well, what's going on? Because we need to board in like half an hour or leave in half an hour. And then you checked it and we were actually late and we had to run.
Literally. So we like sat down and I was like, do you know what? Will can check it this time. You can check the board.
I think I openly went, I'll go and check it.
Do you know, it was stress because I am like quite a stressful traveler, and I just think I get like I like to just see things for myself.
Yeah.
And I will checked it, and like I'm not even kidding. The period from you checked it and you told me there was like nothing on the board to when I checked it, I was just sitting there stressing. Like I needed to get up and check it myself.
Yeah.
And I'm actually so glad I did because when I did, it was like go to gate, boarding. And I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, it was stressful. Yeah, it was really stressful because we couldn't miss that flight because we were going for the next day. Jessie was actually doing something really exciting.
Yes.
Take it away.
I did a photo shoot in Venice. So it was for like a lingerie brand.
Very sexy.
Which was like very like out of my comfort zone. I can't lie.
Yeah. It is like, I think you asked, because I was even saying this to the team. I was like, it's actually a really weird situation when you think about it, like having to get out in lingerie because these shots were being done out in like by the water, outside, different things like that. People could walk past and see, although that we were covering up at every point possible.
Yeah. So every time someone walked past, I was like that. And then we would come over with like the blanket.
Yeah.
And then also so we didn't shoot any shots from the back. So I had this thing covering my bum, so you couldn't see my bum at all.
Yeah.
So like if anyone did walk behind, you kind of just see my hair, and then like it was like this massive cover thing.
Yeah, but how did it make you? How was it feel shooting?
So in my head, I was like, we've just got to get this done. This is what I signed up for. But then in the lead up to the shoot, I was obviously like very stressed and anxious. But then I was kind of like yo-yoing with how I felt about it, because when you do like a photo shoot, first of all, it's really like. I think it's like
intrusive.
Yeah, something about when you see a photo of yourself. We take a lot of photos, but I almost know how they're going to look.
Oh God, don't I know about that?
Because you can like delete them and you can alter the angles.
You're out of control because someone else is taking the photos and doing the editing and sorting it out.
Yeah, and it's like I'm not choosing the outfits, and it's just like I feel like when you see a bad photo of yourself, especially from a girl that has body dysmorphia, it can really just be like a moment that makes me like kind of want to shut down for some reason, or it's just weird looking at photos, I think, even though I do it as a job. But like if I take photos on my phone, I allow myself like 5 days before I even look at them.
You have control.
Yeah.
Jessie always does this, so I always take a fucking heap of photos and Jessie will look from and be like, oh, they're all disgusting. Oh, you're so bad at this. And then come back to it like 2 days later and be like, oh, thank you so much. Like there are actually really nice ones in here. And I'm like, yes, I know.
I saw a thing on this, and it's like something about when you see a photo immediately, because it's not how you envisioned it, or I can't remember what it is. I need to look it up. It's like when you see something immediately, you don't like it. But then when you look at it at a later date, your brain has time to like adjust to it. I don't know how that works. So now whenever I take photos, I like don't look at them immediately.
Yeah.
But back to like the lingerie shoot. I haven't done lingerie in ages. I just feel like not in my confident feels these days. But I think it was good to do it because I really like what the brand is about. Like it is about empowering women and like feeling good within your own body.
Yeah.
And whilst I was stressed about, you know, lingerie photos, being in lingerie in front of other people, all of that type of thing, I was like, you know what?
Do you know what I was saying? It was a really good team because it's quite an uncomfortable situation.
Yeah.
And if I was saying this to the team, like if you didn't have like a good team around you, then it would make it feel awkward because obviously, because I said, oh, if you told me to get into my pants and take some pictures, I wouldn't feel fucking comfortable.
No,
Do you know
they
what I
hyped
mean?
me up.
Yeah, it was a really, really good team.
I did feel good about myself afterwards.
It set it up for the day. So we stayed in this really beautiful accommodation. It was like this big house in the heart of Venice, and Jessie had her first shoots being done actually like in the doorway. So if you kind of like looked, you could see what was going on, but it wasn't out in the open sort of thing. And then we had these men opposite. Do you remember these like dirty old men opposite, like almost like sticking out their tongue and like filming and being really creepy. So do you know what I did? Jessie walked to the side, and then I pulled down my trousers and showed him my bum, and then they left.
To be very clear, he had his underwear underneath, but it was really funny. He like pulled his pants down, started shaking his butt.
Yeah.
And then they were like, ew.
Yeah, they got a piece of their own medicine.
But I do think like with like the photo shoot and lingerie and all the stress leading up to it, I was like, do you know what? This is my body. Like there's actually no textbook on how I have to look.
No.
My body can look however it wants to look.
Body positivity.
Yeah. Correct. And it's the same, like I feel like we all have this pressure that we need to look a certain way, or if I take a photo, it needs to look how like models look. But like the fact of the matter is I can actually look however I want.
Yeah.
And you know what? I will rock however I look, so I don't care.
Fuck yeah. What was your favourite shoot? I quite like the one, so she did some shooting on a gondola.
Yeah.
Is that the right word?
Gondola.
The
little boats in Venice.
little boats, which was really cool. But we had a nightmare with that situation as well. So you pay them, obviously, which is ridiculous. You pay them like €100 for like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And then they were trying to be like, oh, can we just pay you 200 and get like 40 minutes for a longer time?
Laps.
Yeah, and it just wouldn't. And he basically dropped everyone off and told all of his mates not to let us on another boat. So they weren't serving us and not letting us on boats.
Yeah, so what she actually did was she paid double the price and asked for 2 rides.
Yeah.
But then he just took one and then kicked her off.
Yeah.
And said no more.
I don't think that they understood what
yeah, because she was really polite about it too. She was trying to like pay him more money to stay on that boat.
We're trying to give you more money, buddy.
But then I think, I don't know, it was confusing. It was raining in Venice, but I find like that very romantic.
Yeah, it was.
I think Venice is such a beautiful city. I strongly recommend going there if you can.
No, 100%. One of my funniest things that happened was, so Jessie was obviously doing a shoot, and this was just outside the accommodation, and we had this really sweet old man that walked past, and he obviously couldn't speak a lot of English, but he said complimentary, which we're only guessing means like compliments, that Jessie looked like compliments.
He looked really sweet as well.
Yeah, and then he walked up to the top of the stairs, turned around, and then went, and just started growling. And we were like, what the fuck? Because like 2 seconds later, we're like, oh, what a really lovely, sweet old man saying compliments. And then 2 minutes later, he's just at the top of the stairs going, like growling.
I thought it was you growling at him. Because I was so confused because I had like this like blanket thingy around me. Like, because like my hair and makeup did look quite like glamorous. And then we had
Hollywood,
the cameras
actually.
around.
So
even though you couldn't see the outfit, I was like standing in this little cape thing. People kept asking if it was like a wedding dress. I was like, no girl, it's just hiding my lingerie.
Yeah.
And then he just starts growling. I thought you were growling at him.
It was really fucking funny. We cracked up about it.
But we did survive another holiday together because we love our holidays, but they're chaotic, aren't they?
Very chaotic, yeah. I think every time, we're really bad at this, every time that we go away, that's the second time we've been to Venice. And funnily enough, every single time we've gone to Venice, we've actually eaten at the same place. We even got the whole team to eat at this restaurant. I don't know why. I don't know if it's because when we go there, and I want to know if everyone else like feels this, but when you go there and you really like the food, why would you want to try somewhere else? Because then you might get something you don't like as much and be like, oh, damn, I wish I just went back to the place that I know has got the good food.
Yeah, well, I feel like we're very like routine people and we are like that with our food.
But do you remember that on our last day, we went to a different restaurant for like lunch. It was like a late lunch, early dinner sort of thing. And it just wasn't as good. And I was thinking, oh, we should have just gone back to the other place. Literally every time we've gone to Venice, we've eaten at the same place. But we do this in normal life. Like if we find a meal we like, we will just nonstop eat it. Like our dinners, we always know what we're going to have. Just the same.
Yeah, and if we have something different, it's like ill. Like I could literally just eat the same thing, but then only for like 2 months and then I'll get sick of it. Like remember when we went through like our nugget phase?
Yeah.
Sometimes it's really good going through the food phases because sometimes we'll go through and like have like salmon and broccolini for dinner every night. But then we'll go through like a phase where we have like chicken nuggets and like burgers.
Chicken nuggets, chips, cheese, gravy.
And when you're doing that for like 3 months straight, like that's not very good. But yeah, we're very routine eaters, I think.
Yeah, but I'm just like, nah, because like this place, it was on the river, it was good vibes, good wine, good food. It was like, it's got everything you want there. And I feel like when you venture out, you're always disappointed.
Yeah, when you try something different,
And we're
it's
very
just not the same.
indecisive people. Like we'll walk around for like over an hour being like, we should really get dinner, but we don't know where we're going to sit down.
I actually hold my hands up. Anyone that knows me knows, do not ask me where to eat, what to get.
No, but then Jessie
Anything like that,
will be
I
like, I don't
crumble.
care where we eat. So I'll go up to a restaurant and be like, oh yeah, this looks pretty good vibes. And Jessie will go, no. And I'm like, so you're not going to make a decision on where you want to eat, but you're also going to say no. So,
Or I go, should we just look at the one down here?
yeah, and then she'll go, oh, let's just look at the one down here. And I'm like, no, we've actually just got a decent restaurant here. Like, let's just eat here.
We've done this at times where it's just taken hours to eat. It just actually does
It's
ruin
Jessie.
it. I can't make decisions. It's
No,
the
but
Libra
I would
in
make
me.
a decision and be like, let's eat here. And you'll be like, oh, let's just carry on walking. I'm like, no, why? Let's just
I don't know.
not sort of thing.
You need to make the decision. I give you full permission to do that because I actually cannot choose where to eat.
See, that's one of my biggest pet peeves of Jessie when we go away. Another pet peeve is that she is not chill.
no.
You're very stressful. You're a very stressful traveller, I think.
Yeah, but Will, how do you think I feel when I have to travel with someone who literally left their passport on the plane?
I'm a chill traveller. Look, what will be will be. If we miss our flight, we miss our flight.
Absolutely not.
I'm chill. Do you know what I
Oh my
mean?
God, do you know how chill he is?
I'm just there for good vibes. I want a good time. You get your stressfulness away because have you seen the TikTok where it's like, hi, I'm Jessie, and I put the accommodation and then it's like, hi, I'm Will, and then it cuts off because the other person doesn't do anything. That's me in the situation.
Yeah. So I know the schedule we have to follow. Last night when we were at the airport, we was like, I'm hungry. So he goes to the busiest burger joint in the airport.
Was not busy. That's lying.
There were so many people there.
Nah, that was lying.
And then it took 40 minutes to get his burger. We almost missed our flight.
That's true.
The burger was good though.
The burger was good, but I had to fucking scran it down quick time. But yeah, but that I blame more of the restaurant because it wasn't like I did it 10 minutes before. It took
They
40,
did take forever.
40 minutes to take. But yes, we did nearly miss our flight, I must admit.
But I think with this, it works. I feel like there's always like the stressful traveler and the chill traveler. Because if you have two chill travelers, you are going to miss your flight.
But I
If you
like
have two
it. I
stressed
let you do
travellers-
it. I do it out of the kindness of my heart because you like to be organised, know exactly what's going on.
You do it out of the kindness of your
Yeah,
heart.
I let you take control and like book everything. Because I'm there when we're there. I'm the one bringing good vibes. I'm there having fun, bringing
This
the
is
energy.
true. This is true. But yeah, I do get stressed. I feel like even if you planned it, I would still get stressed. Like I do struggle to relax.
Yeah.
Like especially on holidays.
Around me?
My brother actually, I sent a funny TikTok to Brock, my brother, and it was about like a sibling stressing out the airport. And he replied, "You're scary at the airport."
Yes, Jessie is scary. See, Brock's like me. You are scary. I'm just like fucking hell chill. Just chill. Like even with this burger thing, I was like, we got time. They're actually not going to leave without
I was
us.
like, "No, I'm gonna
And
go.
Jessie
Just
was
tell
like,
him
I'm
we
going to
can't."
go, I'm going to leave. And I'm just like, fucking wait just a minute, please. And then we got there. Jessie made us run. And then when we got to the gate, we still had like 20 minutes to like chill.
But the whole line was boarding. They were scanning their boarding
They were
passes.
boarding,
We were
yeah, but
literally
we
lucky
had time.
Okay. Agree to disagree on that.
Have you got any pet peeves of me?
Pet peeves of you on holiday?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so when we're on holiday and it always gets to the last day,
Yeah.
something in you goes like, you go weird, man.
What do you mean?
He starts talking in this weird voice. Like one time he like it gets to the point where Will just doesn't even care about his outfits. Remember when you put on that outfit in Ireland?
There was nothing wrong with that. Oh my God, guys.
Puts on a hat and goes, I'm Billy. Like you just lose the plot on the last day of the holiday.
There was actually nothing wrong with that outfit. Guys, I was literally just wore a cap and then a black t-shirt and a sweater over the top.
No, you didn't look like you.
I was speaking in a different accent and pretending I was someone called Billy.
Yeah, like Will just goes really weird. You lose your mind on the last day, especially if we've had a drink the night before.
I didn't lose my... Nah, not in Venice.
You half did in the morning because remember I had to go off at you. I had to say, no, I'm not doing this today.
No, that's because Jessie wanted to carry on sleeping, but I wanted to go out and explore. So Jessie's really bad at this. So with breakfast buffets in the morning, I would happily just have a lie-in, leave and go get lunch. But because the food is free, we have to go down early in the morning.
But it's not necessarily free. You pay for it. I always get it in the bundle.
Yeah. Yeah, but we have to go down, and then Jessie will like want to come back up and go back to bed, but I didn't want to go back to bed, so I was just like playing and being like, you know, cheeky.
He was being like weird.
What do you mean?
I don't know. It's the voice you talk in. When it gets to the last day of holiday as well, your appetite skyrockets. You want to eat everything before we leave every single day.
I don't think I overate like that. I only overeat on hungover days. I wasn't that hungover.
You almost
I had a sore bottom.
Yeah, if it wasn't for the sore bottom, you would have been eating everything. You even got to the airport, you're like, what munch is there? You get into a munch mood.
Yeah, but we didn't eat that much. Like, we shared a sandwich.
No, yeah. But like on the last day of a holiday, I feel like you want to just eat all the food we didn't eat the other days. And we always end up like going to the airport.
But this is one of the trips that we didn't do that.
No, we actually didn't do it on this trip because you had a sore bottom.
Okay, something that...
We had the shits, in other words.
The pet peeve that I have of Jessie is that I don't mind taking photos of my girlfriend looking beautiful, but what I do kind of mind is we don't need to take a billion photos. Set up, oh, that's really cute spot. Let's take a burst of photos and move on. But it has to be a photo shoot. And then, 2 minutes down the line, this is beautiful. Another photo shoot, another photo shoot. I'm like, oh, give my boy a break.
Okay, I take so many good photos of you.
No,
candidly.
I'm just candid queen looking beautiful.
No, but you don't try to take candid photos of me.
I do, and every time I show it to you, you go, oh, you've got to let me know because my hair extension's out.
I take really good candid photos of you. I actually think you got more photos out of that trip than me. And I have to retake the photos when they look bad. Sorry. It's not you, it's me. But okay, maybe I can take a little less photos on the holiday. Well, we can agree on that. Anywho, moving on to our dilemma of the week. Hi, Will and Jessie. I've been dating this guy for 3 months. He's amazing, except he still lives with his ex. He swears it's just financial and they're not together, but it gives me the ick. Should I stick it out or should I run?
Oh, I can see both sides. So I actually knew someone who was seeing someone, but still lived with their ex-partner. And then so the person was basically saying that we've broken up. It's absolutely fine. It's just that we've got a house together, so we're still living together until we sort things out. Later on, down the track, they actually found out that the partner wasn't actually okay with it and they weren't splitting up. But that's what he was telling the person.
Yeah, so he's just lying and seeing someone else.
Yeah, basically. So I would say in that situation, run. But then... Did I explain that right?
Yeah, no, I do get that.
But then I'm like, if you've got a couple and they've got a house together or bought a house together, who's going to go and get out a new house?
So,
you know what I mean?
It depends how long ago they've split up. Because if they've split up like a couple months ago.
Yeah, still probably.
And you're still
fresh.
living with them, I just feel like you're in that position. You're always going to be on the back foot. Their ex is actually still going to be the priority because they're not only the ex, but they live together.
Yeah.
So,
and if you lived with someone, there's going to have to be a bit of history.
Yeah, do they have no sexual chemistry whatsoever? Do they not sit down at dinner time and have chit chats?
Probably not.
If you live in a house with someone.
Yeah, but if you live in a house with someone you hate, you'll just avoid them, wouldn't you? It depends what their relationship is. I think, like, if you're living with someone, that's a long-term relationship.
What if they just get horny one night and just go shag? Because what's the matter? They've shagged so many times.
You've actually just got such... this is what I hate with, people. It's like, this is what I hate. Like, you always have to think about sex.
Oh, shut up.
You always have to think about sex. Why can't you think about people's feelings in this situation?
But that's what I would think about.
Sex, Jessie.
Okay, so if we broke up and still lived together... There would not be a possibility of us ever sleeping with each other.
Depends what sort of chat line you're using.
I just feel like with that situation...
You think that if we split up and lived together, we would have sex?
Maybe occasionally. What if we got drunk?
Why are we getting drunk if we're like broken up?
I don't know if it was a Saturday night. Like, if you live with someone that you used to sleep with, like...
Your mind is so bad,
This is the problem bad. In the world. That's reasonable.
This is the problem.
This is realistic.
This is the problem.
Okay, so if we broke up and still lived together, we would not exchange any physical touch.
What do you mean? What, like when you're walking past, what am I going to do? Like physically stroke your hands, like touch? Like
if you live with someone,
so we can't do this.
If you live with someone, you're going to share the same living room, the same kitchen.
Yeah.
Your bedrooms are just next door. I do think that still leaves opportunity to continue on
But
to
what
the
happened if they
relationship.
broke up? They've just bought a house. They both can't afford to move out, so they have to stay in together. But they're just like, it just didn't work out. Well, have they both fallen out of love with each other?
Yeah.
But there isn't anything there.
Yeah, but you could still sleep with each other.
Oh my God, it's not all about sex, Jessie.
No, it's not, but it's still a strong possibility. I think if it's up to the person. Look, we need to give this person advice here with this dilemma. I personally think...
Yeah, because Jessie's
play it
basically
slow.
saying that they're just going to sleep together, so run.
Oh my God, let us know in the comments. Do you think that's a possibility? Because I do.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's not a possibility, but there's so many other possibilities in sex.
What are you saying this for? You actually... We know that, but it's still like a strong factor.
No, definitely. No, definitely. I agree with that. I'd run, personally.
Run?
Yeah, I wouldn't.
You just done a big 180.
No, but I wouldn't have... I don't think that I would like that.
I think there could still be unfinished business. They need to resolve it because...
Yeah, because what are you going to do? Like go around their house and like for dinner and what? And the ex is going to be there.
Yeah. Weird. But like maybe play it really slow with this person. See how much you like them. Is it worth them living with their ex?
Yeah.
I don't know.
How much do you love them? You know, maybe you could become a throuple. Who knows?
If they love you, they'd move out from their ex and move in with you.
Yeah, but what if the other person doesn't want that?
Well, why would you want to live with your ex and not your new partner?
Well, apparently for you, for the sex.
Okay, well, resolved.
And to finish off the episode, some lovely agree to disagree questions. I feel like me and Jessie have been disagreeing a lot this episode, which is good. Should you share your phone password with your partner?
We do.
We do, yeah.
But I think you don't have to, but you need to discuss why you don't share it.
Yeah.
Is it just because you're a private person or is the person hiding something? But then like...
I think you should share if you... I don't think you have to. I think it's probably healthy to share because
I think it's not that
because
deep.
it's a sign of trust.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
It is.
It's
trust is always a good thing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a sign of trust. I don't think you're necessary. It's not like, I have your password, so I'm actually going to go through your phone when you're sleeping. It's a sign of trust, isn't it? Like, here's my phone password. I haven't got anything to hide.
With this, it's really important to differentiate trusting someone and wanting to be trustworthy and controlling relationships. I feel like if someone is demanding something, it kind of falls into that control category. And control is always a red flag. You should always have an option. However, it is really important to have that trust and not force things out of your partner.
Yeah.
So I would give my friends my phone password. Like, anyone have my phone password, I'm really not fussed.
Yeah.
It's not a big secret.
But I've heard stories about people who haven't had their partner's phone password. And like when their partner's asleep, they will go on the Face ID to get on the phone. That shit's crazy.
Yeah, because, well, obviously the trust is just so broken down.
Exactly. So by sharing it, I think it's a good form. It's a healthy trust. It's good boundaries, isn't it?
I really do like struggle to understand what would be hiding on a phone not to have that trust as well. Like for me,
messages, searching up.
But you can go and look. I don't care what I search. You know what I search. You know who I message. And if you did read my messages, there's nothing in there that I'd be worried about except
Prove it, let's see.
except when your birthday presents were arriving and they were like, UGG was texting me being like, your UGG parcel is here.
Ah, yes.
I guess if you share really personal information with like your best friend.
And then if you do go into my DMs, it's your fault.
Yeah.
Ruining it.
Yeah,
you
my
trusted
fault.
me.
Exactly. But like we have those boundaries. But then maybe some people like have really deep and meaningful conversations with their best friends. Or if they have like really old conversations and their partner like goes through digging for that. I think all of that type of thing is just unhealthy.
Yeah.
Share your phone passwords if you like. But just be mindful of how each other feel. You reckon that's a good summary? Do we agree or disagree?
I'd share.
I'd share, yeah. Agree or disagree? Is it a red flag if someone doesn't post their partner on Instagram?
If they don't post their partner on Instagram, but they're like smashing out the socials of them with their top off and whatever and like partying or
Posting
doing
the boys.
Yeah, this, that, and lets off single vibes, yes, problem. But if they're just not an active Instagram user, no, I don't think. Why change? Do you know what I mean? If you're not active on Instagram and you don't post, why should you feel like you have to post?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I get that. I feel like it's nice when your partner posts you on Instagram, and if you know that your partner really likes that thing and you can make their day with it with just like one little birthday post or one little birthday story.
Yeah.
And if they refuse to like do that, I feel like, come on, mate.
Yeah.
Just put up a 24-hour story.
Yeah, no, because there's a lot of give and take in relationship, isn't it? You gotta find, you've got to sometimes do things to please and make your partner happy.
Yes. But then what you're saying, if they're posting all the time and they like refuse to post their partner, I do think that is weird, because a lot of people that like, a lot of like cheating and messaging and all that type of stuff, it does go down on social media. It's, you know, that's how like weird, like people that cheat lots find new people.
Yeah.
They message on Instagram. But then I feel like that doesn't stop people, because like I've had people in the past have had me all over their Instagram and still message other girls and the other girls reply. So it's just like.
You never know.
But yeah, if your girlfriend asks you to post them on Instagram, or if your boyfriend asks you and you're refusing.
Just take one for the team,
I do
buddy.
think that is a bit of a red flag. Like it would be nice for them to
Who
be
doesn't
proud.
want you want to know? That's what they always say on Valentine's Day, isn't it? Like that's when like the surprise partners come out.
Oh, he's got a boyfriend. Is it a red flag if your friend gets competitive with you?
Competitive in what sort of sense?
Just with you in general?
I don't know, because like coming from like, I grew up with like, I had like a boy friendship group growing up, and it was like banter if you're a bit competitive. I don't think it's a red flag particularly.
I feel like that's quite common in guys, actually. Guys do seem to be quite competitive.
Yeah, but it's like a fun competitive. Do you know what I mean? It's like a fun, boisterous sort of thing. But I get, if you're looking at it from a different point of view, like, I don't know, I could be wrong here, but girls get nasty.
Sometimes anyone can get nasty.
No, but I feel like boys don't. I feel like boys are chill.
I feel like you're maybe, like, guys can get really nasty as well.
Yeah, guys,
and girls can get nasty too.
Yeah.
But I think it is a different dynamic in a lot of girl friendships.
I think competitiveness with girls isn't the same as competitiveness with boys.
No, because you guys would probably have it like more like sports oriented.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like more sports,
like
more
your sports
fun.
teams.
Yeah.
Whereas girls getting competitive, I feel like it's, if you're viewing someone as competing against you, which I feel like a lot of women do get put in that type of situation, not even purposely with each other, but it's just how society does it. Like if two girls ever have a little bit of beef on a TV show, all the papers will be like posing those two girls against each other. So I feel like with girls, like it kind of gets fueled by like external reasons. But I think if someone is not congratulating you on your success and then trying to like match it and then like show off instead of congratulating you, I feel like there's nothing wrong with being a little bit competitive, but I feel like not rubbing stuff in people's face.
Yeah, in what sort of way? I'm probably looking at it in a different point of way, in the sense that I'm not necessarily thinking about like if you're competitive in work or like in life or different things like that, not congratulating because you're jealous or envious. I was just thinking more of like a boisterous. I would say it probably is a red flag.
Yeah, I think if your friend is turning...
Because it would turn nasty.
Yeah, I think if your friend is turning...
Their wins should be your wins.
Yeah, I think if your friend is turning your accomplishments into something they're doing better and turning it around to them to like take away from your moment, then I don't think that is a very healthy friendship. Your friend should build you up and hype you up. And I always say, like, there's no need to compete with other people, but you can use people as inspiration. I think that's always a good thing. Like in life, it's good to be inspiring. Like I hope to inspire my friends and my sisters, and like instead of them seeing as like being competitive, if I saw
bring each other up.
Yeah, if I saw one of my friends doing what I was doing, I'd want to like support them and be like, oh my God, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. You always want people that like build you up and not
hype you up.
Yeah, hype you up.
Not tear you down.
And if they are competing with you, do you know what?
Fuck them.
No. If they are competing with you, that is a compliment to you, because it obviously means that you're thriving and they are looking to you for inspiration.
Agreed.
Well, perfect. And that is a wrap today. Thank you so much for listening. Remember, whatever you're listening to, watching on, please click that follow button. That would help us a load. As well, if you do have any of your own dilemmas, please feel free to send them through. You can send us a cheeky little DM on Instagram or TikTok at Agree to Disagree Pod.
And we'll see you next week. And remember, it's okay to agree to disagree.
Love ya. Bye.